Plaintiff Donna Gowen and her daughters Michelle Wallace and Angela Gasparic say Donna married the defendant when she was 14 and he was 19, and he cheated on her numerous times. Donna claims the defendant denies paternity of both Michelle and Angela, so she petitioned the court for 2 DNA tests. Defendant Ronald Gasparic believes that Donna got pregnant with Michelle while they were separated, and he suspects his brother may be Angela's biological father. Ronald just wants to put this to rest, so he agreed to take the DNA tests.
And we're here today to determine paternity, and we're glad to be able to accommodate your desires and wishes, and let's get started with it.
Well, we got married at a very young age, at 14 and 19.
14? And he was 19?
Yes, sir.
That was illegal.
Well, not in Kentucky. Not in Kentucky.
How things have changed, but go ahead.
But as things progressed, he started cheating on me very bad. And I ended up leaving him for about 6 months.
How old were you then?
I was 15. And I went back.
Where did you go, home?
Back home. And I had a baby, went back home. And a childhood friend asked me out to the fair. And I told him yes. But then I chickened out. I told him I couldn't do it. I felt like it was cheating, and I couldn't do it.
Did you all come back together later?
Yes, we got back together.
What age?
16, I guess it was. And we ended up having Michelle.
Okay.
And he calls her Jeff all the time.
Calls her what?
Jeff.
He wanted a boy or something?
That's the childhood friend that I went out with.
That ain't right.
No. No. Makes her cry all the time.
Yeah, that ain't right.
Yeah. And then it wasn't long after that, 14 months later, I had Angie. And he says she belongs to his brother Chuck, so he calls her Chuck. So I just need closure on this.
And did they know he was saying this stuff?
Yeah, Jeff got a hold of me through Facebook.
You should have got a hold of him.
Yeah, well, he's the one got a hold of Jeff. And told Jeff, you got a daughter.
Okay, so there was a question as to, that's the whole crux of what you're saying, is he questions both paternities?
Both
okay,
paternities.
I thought perhaps it was one.
No, both of them.
Plaintiff Donna Gowen and her daughters Michelle Wallace and Angela Gasparic petitioned the court for a DNA test because the defendant denies paternity of both Michelle and Angela.
And you all were together how long again? What years were you together?
11 years.
From starting when again?
1975.
75 to 91, is that?
86.
86, yeah, that's why. So I had you with that you don't have your calculator.
I ran out of batteries. I got to get a new one.
Somebody sent us a photo, said you didn't need your calculator.
I need it.
I'm going to have them go back and get a portrait of you and myself that someone painted.
Bring it in the studio.
And you have your calculator, and people said you didn't need it.
That's great.
But then, as you do so, bring the results.
You got it.
I'll continue with them in the meantime. But I want the audience to see that picture. Let me hear from you.
Well, I'm not disputing all this, Your Honor, but some things just didn't add up. First of all, we got married real young, like she said, and we had separated that January of '79, and I went back down there, and actually in September, she was really anxious to get back with me. She kept calling, wouldn't stop calling, wanted me to come down there, so I did. When I got through the door, she was wanting to have sex. And I said, well, I thought, man, this is kind of unusual. And then,
it's unusual for women to want to have sex with you?
Well, I mean, so soon. I only got through the door.
Okay.
But, so we did her thing, you know, and then she told me later that she had seen this Jeff guy she's talking about.
Just saw him in the street, you said.
Well, she told me that he came here and she had ran him off.
He came to date her, and she said no?
But she said then she ran him off. But I don't know, when we got back up to Northern Ohio, where I'm from, it wasn't very long, she told me she was pregnant. I said, well, that's awful soon. And she started showing awful soon. And my mom had said that one thing she didn't understand, how come she didn't know when she was going to have her? You know? And, you know, it just made everybody wonder.
What about the next time?
Well, the next one, the other girl, Angie here, she's just got so many similarities like my older brother. She's drugs, rage, anger, I mean, extreme anger. Just like my older brother was.
You keep calling that man's name, I would too.
Well, the DNA. Well, it's just best to get this out there open. We'll get DNA test done. Everybody might think I'm a pig. Oh well, yeah, we'll find this one way to find out who's right and who's wrong. I'm not disputing so much with Angie. Michelle's the one I'm really more, the skeptical of.
So we want to find out paternity. And have you served as a father to these two young ladies?
No.
No?
No.
Has he played support for them? Has he
Yes,
provided financial
them
support?
financially.
Yeah.
The first probably 12 years of their life, he was in it.
Emotionally, no.
But after that, he wasn't emotionally in their life or.
After 12 years, he had been in first 12. So what, he got some new woman that
Yes,
that separated him
he's
from
been
his
married
children?
3 or 4 times.
He's been married 3 or 4.
He's got, 8 or 9 kids, Ron?
7.
7.
7.
You take care of all your children, sir?
Yes, I have. I try to raise them. I try to raise them upright. But there's some other things I can get into. I don't know if they want to hear this or not.
Well, it might be because
they're making me all look bad.
One of the things that children need are fine examples of mothers and fathers.
Well, yeah,
and
I understand
they need direction, they need counsel, and they need assistance. And it sounds like you stopped giving that.
Well,
For some years now. And so I question you as to why. Sounds like you were a decent dad up until you got a new woman that told you couldn't go see your other daughters. You got a new woman that runs your life, tells you what to do.
No.
Don't be no sucker for no woman.
No. But
For anybody.
She should have told you that also we made agreement in the divorce that I took Paula, which was the oldest daughter, and I lost her a year and a half ago to drugs.
In his house.
Quiet.
And she also took the other 2 daughters, and she made the agreement. She's the one that came up with the idea. I didn't. If you pay child support, I might pay you no child support, and you'll pay me no support.
Plaintiff Donna Goen and her daughters Michelle Wallace and Angela Gasparic petitioned the court for a DNA test because the defendant denies paternity of both Michelle and Angela.
We're not hearing a lot of financial issues. We're talking about since they were 12, you stopped associating with them.
No, I just take these girls every summer. They can tell you that. When I got married, my second wife.
Yeah, but this third one is the one that cut you off, told you don't see him no more. Isn't it?
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
What are you guys talking about?
The third wife. You have so many you lost count.
The last one.
What did he say?
He said, the last one.
He said, the last.
She don't want to be around drug addicts. She don't want to be around drug addicts, bad people, and that's exactly what they are. They've been on heroin. They've been on, you name it, they've done it. Crack. I don't care what it is.
I have 7 years, thank you.
My oldest daughter.
7 years. And I have 9
bath
years
salts,
clean.
and I told him I don't want this junk in my home. But it just never. I still wouldn't even trust them in my house for 5 minutes. Either one of them.
We'd both take a drug test today, Your Honor, if you have a copy.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
If that's available right now.
They're on them Suboxone strips right now. They were. Yep.
Doctor prescribed.
Yep. They've shot up dope in my
Get 'em
house.
off.
Every one of them has. Well,
Get
my
'em
oldest
off.
daughter actually
Mama
got.
too?
Huh?
Mama has?
No, not Donna.
Oh.
Not the one. No, not hers. She's not bad for. She wasn't real bad for drugs when we were young, and I never did do no drugs. I didn't understand where they got this from.
You drink a lot
That's
of
why
alcohol.
I thought Angie was more might belong to my older brother, because he did everything that was out there. My older brother I'm talking about.
Drug addict.
Drug addict. He died of drugs. He was only 51 years old. He OD'd on heroin, and she was on it. You name it, pretty much, she's done it also. They've had old sugar daddies. They brought sugar daddies to my house. I'd be upstairs. Their husband would be in one bedroom, hid in the other, and they'd be downstairs with their old sugar daddy. And I was such a bad father.
I knew he was going to do this.
I knew he was too.
She left. I mean, she was the one that wanted a divorce, you know. We got these girls, we got divorced, they were young, and I think that's what messed them up a lot. Did she also tell you she left me for a woman, and she's married to a woman right now? Mm-hmm. And everybody thinks I'm such a pig. But this little Filipino woman, this last one I was married to, like I said, she didn't want to be around drug addicts and bad people. And I don't blame her, and I don't either.
The mail order bride you're talking about?
She said she was a mail order bride. Is that?
Well, what the hell? What's it matter?
How old were your daughters when you all divorced?
How old were they?
Mm-hmm. Do you know, ma'am, how old your daughters?
2 and 3.
Two and three. They weren't too affected.
No, they weren't very old. No.
Well,
Paula was
they weren't that affected at 2 or 3. They couldn't even remember that. I'm going to leave that nonsense alone. You have the results, and I'm sure that these ladies are your daughters. We're going to get the results. You're just upset and angry. You've already admitted you know Angie is.
You know?
Can I speak, Your Honor?
Yes, ma'am.
I feel like I should get it out.
My father has been denying me since I was 16 years old.
Well, we're going to find out right now.
And I think that's a lot of my drug use started because I didn't feel like I was wanted because I had blonde hair.
Well, one other thing, Don, because
Quiet. So it's totally understandable.
But I've been clean, Your Honor, for 10 years.
Well, she got too much toward me that I won't let her move back to my house. She can do drugs, and live there, get free rent, and do the debt, and bring drugs to my house. That's not happening. Nobody's gonna come
Be
to my
quiet. Now, you don't want me to start barking at you now. Just lighten this up a little bit.
I didn't know if you want to see it.
For your calculator.
That was great.
A gentleman named Don Howard
Awesome. I gotta
sent
get a
this
copy
to
of
us.
that.
Yeah, we certainly have one for you. I was
that'd
going
be
to
great.
surprise you with it.
Yeah,
but
that's awesome.
We don't want surprises today, and we don't have any surprises today. Both of those are your daughters. Now get out of here with that
I'm mainly happy she's got some closure because it was mainly about her. It's always been about her, him denying her. But I don't think it's going to change anything.
No, it's not.
It's not
I'm
gonna change
the
nothing.
same way. I'm happy with the results because I know I never cheated on the man, so there was no reason for her not to be his child.
Like I said, I don't want anything else to do with her because I'm not going to let anybody just sit back and bring drugs to my house and say things about my wife and make some. She's never done anything.
Your wife won't let your kids in your house.
She don't want to do them because they're trash. That's why. They're trash.
Listen to you.
Trash.
Listen to you.